Hi. There is a concept, especially in writing and arts, of understatement. It essentially means that what is left unsaid is as important or may be as important as what is said. Understatement is representing something less than it actually is. And I want to talk about understatements in respect to managerial authority. Over the past few videos, I've been speaking about a first time manager and some important things a first time manager should know. I want to talk about understatements in exercising authority. One mistake many first time managers make is that because they have a new position, they feel they should fire on all cylinders and use all their authority at once. Make directives, institute new systems, etc. Let everybody know who the new boss is. It's usually a very bad idea because while your team members or people who you're managing might not say it to your face, they already think, boy, this thing has gotten to his head. He is drunk with power, etc. And that is not a good place to be with your followers. It's a good idea to understate your authority. Now, don't take that literally to say undermine your authority. But for example, if you wanted a team member to do something, you could make a request for them to do it. Now, of course, if you made a request, you stand the chance of not being seen negatively as somebody who is drunk with power. They already know you're the manager. If you made a request to them, then you're understating your authority in this case. And in a situation where they don't respond appropriately, you can add a bit of more authority to clarify that this is more of a of this is more of an instruction than a request. But in that point, you have already given the chance to have that thing done without being so bossy about it, if you know what I mean. So, understating your authority is a great way to begin to ease into your leadership position without making others feel like you're arrogant or that you're drunk with power. And the benefit of this is that sometimes what you could achieve with just a request, if you had used all your authority to enforce it, after the thing is done, you might realize that you didn't really need all that authority to get it done. But the deed has already been done, and your follower already thinks he is he's so bossy, he's so in your face kind of manager. So that's what understatement is, and that's something I learned today. I learned to think of authority as a stock of supplies. You want to use as little of those supplies as possible and keep those supplies for when they are really needed. You don't want to just go every day and just grab like a large piece of supplies and just use it for that day. And in this case, I'm referring to supplies as authority. You don't want to go there every day and keep using up your supplies. At some point, it will be finished, and maybe there'll be a very important day when you needed those supplies, but they're all gone because you've used them up. But if you took as little as possible, you save those supplies for when you really need to use them. And the interesting thing about understating is that when you as a manager, when you're known to be more, I'd say, polite and make requests rather than make commands, on the day you make a command, it will be much more effective than if you had started making commands from the very first day. Does that make sense? So understating your authority is a very good way to start as a first time manager. It gives you sort of a soft, easy landing with your followers and enables them or helps them accept you better as the leader in a more natural and organic way rather than having to enforce your leadership. I once heard this quote that if a okay, let me say it the other way. If a man has to say, I am the man of this house, for example, in a family setting, then he probably isn't. I think it was the Prime Minister of Britain, Margaret Thatcher, that said, when you have to say you are a woman, you probably aren't. Something of that nature. I'm paraphrasing now. So, as a manager, when you have to enforce and say, I am the manager in this case, you probably have lost your respect, and maybe people don't really regard you with the necessary respect you want so desperately. So yeah, I think that was what I learned today. That's actually what I learned today. I hope it was useful to you. Thank you for watching today's video. I'll see you tomorrow.